and all present over here. On behalf of Legal Cell and Law and Society Alliance, powered by Law Cooks, our media partner, welcome each and every person present over here. I'm Advocate Purnata Rayani, completed my MCom and LLB from Mumbai University and moderator of today's event. Talking bit about Law and Society Alliance and Legal Cell. Law and Society Alliance is a national growth organization that focuses on intellectual work and intervention, both policy and legal, on issues such as law and legislation, national security and strategic affairs, education and skill development, culture and history, business and economy, financial inclusion, and vocational training. Basically, all aspects of human life and to make life itself better for the people from all fields and sectors. Several advocates, doctors, engineers, businessmen, corporate leaders, government, and armed forces officials and officers are part of Law and Society Alliance, and it organizes events, seminars, webinars, field activity, and research on these subjects that it focuses on. Legal Cell is a group for professional enthusiasts and students of law, politics, economy, business, and international relations, etc. Legal Cell focuses on training, webinars, lectures, symposiums, etc. to add value to existing skills and talents of the youngsters and old alike. I would also like to welcome our organizers, Mr. Kumar Vaidyanathan and Mr. Bipindra NC. Mr. Kumar Vaidyanathan is an advocate in Bombay High Court and Secretary General of Law and Society Alliance, and also a co-founder of Legal Cell. Mr. NC Bipindra is an advocate practicing in Supreme Court and Delhi High Court. He is the editor of Defense Capital, chairman of Law and Society Alliance, and also a co-founder of Legal Cell. Moving towards our speaker, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Sangeeta Shetty. Dr. Sangeeta Shetty holds master degrees in the field of economics, history, and education, all completed from the Mumbai University. She is also a bachelor in law and literature from Jitendra Chauhan Law College. Dr. Shetty holds expertise in starting and maintaining school and college projects. She has trained principals and teachers for school governance too. She also has conducted trainings at all levels for educational institutes. So let's hear a few words from the lady herself on impetus of linguistic skills. Also, I would like to inform our participants that you may share your question, concerns, or queries in the meeting chat box. And if time prevails, we will try to have Q&A round at the end of this session. Now, I request everyone to please be on mute as I hand over this forum to Dr. Sangeeta Shetty. Over to you, madam.
Am I audible, Purnata?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this introduction. Uh, Thank you very much for the organizers for having me here in this event. And I further take this opportunity to also thank all the participants who are here. Thank you, Mr. Kumar and Vipindra ji, for doing this event because I think it will reach a lot of people, the work that you are doing. Now, let's get on bang to what we are talking about impetus of linguistic skills. Now, we all know that it's very important, not just our content that we are delivering to and when we have people around, but also the way we are going to deliver, the way we talk, the way we come about, the way we look at people, and we'll see a little bit about how things go on. I would like to share in between. This is going to be something like I'll punch it in between some anecdotes, some thought processes, as the way that I share my this particular PPT with you. All right. So we is the PPT visible, Purnata?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, so we just go about with what we are talking about when we speak and we say impetus of linguistic skills. Now, mm, just give me a minute. Okay. Now, no matter what job you have in life, your success will be determined by 5% of your academic credentials, 15% of your professional experiences, and 80% of your communication skills. Now, friends, especially those participants who yet to want to expect to would are looking forward to learn actually rather than just being on attendance. This is a touch upon. If you really go to see, this is a touch upon as the way you are going to uh, you're going to revive your skills. Those are already actually there in you. It is not something that I'm going to give you anything new. They are those things which are already there, just probably need a little bit of polishing or probably need a little bit of igniting, which I would be able to. I'll try to do it because this is a journey, and those who want further state of this may please can please contact me. Now let's go ahead with what we are talking about. Okay. Now, when we say that, yeah, the most important thing is hearing what isn't said. Now, but I'm sure you would understand what do you mean by that? Yes, we're talking about body language. We're talking about not just body language, but also certain gesticulations. There are people. You may enter a room, and you're naturally, if there are 20 people sitting, and you are naturally drawn to a person who's a little warm, who's probably has a smile on the face, who's probably welcoming, or probably is looking at you with compassion. So these things are actually, you're not speaking, but the gesticulations are so strong that the people are either drawn to you or they get repelled by you. Now we all know that we're talking about nonverbal communication skills. We talk about verbal, oral, written. Here we are not just talking about nonverbal, verbal, that is linguistic, but also what is language. We have something called body language. We have something called language of the thought press. All these things has actually go into the process if we are looking at not just body language but also linguistic, not just linguistic but also body language. So whether it is gestures, proximity, touch, silence, even at times silence, it's so important to have those pauses that gives the effect of what you are saying, what you're speaking, and what are you getting at. Coming on to, we have verbal, we have written, body language, musical, olfactic, etc., etc. These are the types of communication skills you probably get encountered to. We can do each one, but I know we don't have the time to do so. Okay. Now, language is a remarkably complex system. We all know that. One we continue to learn throughout our lives. It's also essential in many aspects of learning and socializing. Research have identified three broad aspects of language. One is receptive language, second is expressive language, and third is pragmatic language. When we're talking about receptive language, we understand from the language of others. We are receiving the receptiveness in us. There are times, you would be probably resonate this with me. There are times when one person is saying something, but it means something different to you. So what is actually happening? The person will say, no, no, I didn't mean to do that, or I didn't mean to hurt you, and I didn't mean to speak this way. The reason is because the receiving part of it, that there is a difference in the way the person has probably communicated and you have received. So this is also one, what do I say, it is a skill to be learned. Certainly it takes time, but I think if journey is begun here, it should culminate into something which is going to be more substantial. Then we have expressive. This is how the babies, they will talk about, they will just gurr, they will look at you in such a manner. Then you have pragmatic language, which is facial expressions, body movements, tonality of voice, inflection, ideas about when to speak for, etc., etc. Okay. Now, before we start our journey, before we, as I said, this would be a journey for you, which is also that's going to be of a personal growth and development. Um, this is it's right now. Where am I sitting? Just look at yourself and see where are you right now, and what is that in your mind that you are intending to learn or probably resonate with, where this kind of a webinar is concerned. As I said, this is for me again, this is a mission. This is not only a webinar. I would love if people are able to take up or take away something from this small talk, which could be of help to you in your life. Every trip has a starting point and a destination. This section is about evaluating yourself to see the areas you wish to improve. Now, I'll just give you a small anecdote here. There was once two grains, they were sleeping by side, and one of the grains said that, very soon it's going to start raining, and I will see that I take my roots in the soil and I do something good of myself. And the second grain was so fearful, and it said, "No, what if I enter into the soil? And if what if I'm not able to root out? What if I'm not able to hold out? What if I'm not able to flower out? What if I'm not able to fruit out?" So one grain went inside the soil, it became a tree, and gave in fruits and flowers. But that grain, the other grain, because it did not jump into the soil, it was just left redundant like that, and it could not be revived later because it had lost its flowering capacity. Okay? So we are we have to, somewhere we will have to speak for ourselves and take charge of our situation. But that does not mean you're not going to be compassionate. You have to be compassionate yourself. We have to understand what are our limitations. We have to understand what are our strong point, and hence then thus you would be able to take the things forward as the way, if you identify the areas you intend to polish. I can help you out, but that would be later. The first key is how to remove subconscious sabotages. Now, what is a sabotage? It's something, an idea, you get an idea and some kind of a negative aspect just comes and takes away that idea from you. It's sabotage. Now, just a very interesting thing. It takes a small skills to present a TED talk, it does to engaging a conversation with a stranger, etc., etc. People respond to someone who's confident, open, engaged, and present. Not what? Not perfect. We are not looking at perfection. We are looking at people who are able to make you feel good. You will connect with them. So it's important that good feel factor, not just for yourself, but for another person. We adore to see somebody who's authentic and unique and utterly human meaning. They may fumble, but they are confident enough to gracefully handle the flip when going on. Do not wait until your big moment to shine. Make it now, this moment. A lot of us, have got fantastic ideas, extremely good content to go with, and a lot of things that play beautifully in our systems. What really happens is we either think, no, it's too big for us, or probably it is too wide, or probably it is too difficult. But I think nothing is difficult. If I could, you can. Remember the way you make them feel. The words you actually say make a great and the first impression by allowing your awesome energy to flow through you. How do you do that? A warm, confident handshake may not be right now at the time of pandemic. I'm not saying going and shake hands. Definitely a namaste would be good enough. But again, a norm, warm, confident namaste. I think we do a lot. A strong eye contact, oh, that's something that you can do. I don't think that should be a problem at all, because a strong eye contact is not going to transfer any virus. A warm smile, definitely. It goes a very, very low way to not just build relationships, but to connect immediately with people. People generally, when even babies, I don't know if you have marked, when you give them that warm, girthy smile, they are so happy to come to you, and they're so content, and they are so secured with you. The warm smile goes a very, very long way. Turn up your positive vibes. Certainly what you are inside will resonate what you are outside. So until and unless you don't this particular emotion inside is not clear, your gesticulation outside are never going to be accepted or received beautifully. Now, here again, what the purpose of this webinar is to help you speak with confidence and calm just anywhere. When I'm saying just anywhere, I'm talking about auditorium full of any number of people, in a board meeting, in your office, anybody's wedding. You want to say a cocktail party, a video, a potential video. Connect with people as yourself, not as a character I'm playing. In this sense, you would say, okay, fine. So tomorrow, if I'm a workforce and I'm working for an organization or a company, and I am a CAO or a CEO, or I am a lawyer or whatever, am I not supposed to talk as myself? Though you are supposed to be in your shoes as a role. But again, when you are talking with people, okay, when you're connecting with your stakeholders or people, just talk to them as the what I am, not with the armor, not with the facade, not with something which people think, okay, fine, the people will get intimidated by you. That should not be your mission. Speaking with conviction, overcoming fear, connecting with anyone, these are the skills that benefit all of us. I'm sure these are very, very common knowledge, common understanding, but how are you going to do them? Yes, again, certainly they are not a challenge, but they are certainly something to be learned over a period of time. There has to be some small tasks which you need to do in time to come, and I'm sure these things can take a long way ahead. A growing number of studies looked into the cognitive effect of bilingual or multilingualism. Now, here I'm just speaking about, I'm sure we all have experienced this, whether we are Marathi or not, Marathi speaking or not. When you meet a traffic police havaldar on the road, and you say mamu kai jhala or something like that, I'm sure you're taken so well. Even in any office that you go to, a government office, and once you start speaking Marathi, let me tell you, you're taken in differently. So here I'm also stressing upon a multilingual approach, and not just English. See, English is something, what is a language? Language is only a way of communicating yourself. It could be gestures, it could be any language that you're well connected with. The more connected, well connected that you are with the language, the better you are going to, the better you're going to come forward and receive people and accept and also give it to people. So, having said that, proficiency in any language, whether it is English or any other language, is what we are speaking about here. So any district or any place that you go to, if you are able to even pick up few words which can help you connect with them and they connecting with you, it certainly goes a long way. Okay. Now, why it happens is because it gives you a better decision making. A non-native language, even if you're not a native language and you're able to do that, I think it goes again a long way. Okay, and improved perception. People look at you in a different way, as I told you. Another thing that happens is it creates a bond. It creates a stronger relationship. Language skills also exposes speakers to different cultures and pattern of behavior. For global businesses that deal with clients, suppliers, and employees around the globe, under multilingualism, it builds bridges between cultures and fosters stronger personal relation on which greater business relationships lie. It's so natural, that when you suppose if you are going to Gujarat, and if you are a proficient with the language, may not be very, very proficient, but you are able to actually manage the language by communicating yourself. You have a very very strong edge over somebody who does not know would know the language. That could be any. So it would, I would also stress that people who are living in different parts of India, and whether it's Gujarat or whether it is Telangana, they speak Telugu, or you're going to Karnataka, they speak Tulu. A little bit of a language ground, if you have or somebody has, it takes a long way if you're making businesses, and you're bridging relationships. Now, multitasking, we all know. I think we all are looking for, aren't we looking for people who are multitasking? Somebody who is a good speaker, who's able to handle relationships beautifully, who's able to uh, write well, who's able to probably draw a good affidavit in the language. So we need people who are doing a juggling task, and it is very very nice and seriously stunning to know that people who have multilingual skills are also good multitaskers. Okay. Now, the biggest communication problem is we don't listen. We understand, listen what we understand. We are wanting to reply to a particular thing. More than what a person is telling you, we're actually making a reply of it before we actually understand what that person is trying to say. So we have to intently probably stop that habit from happening, and taking it forward in a way that you are first able to receive. I think this is how this happened in the computer also. There is some information, that information has to be decoded. The information after being decoded has to be replied on. So I think this is what we need. Take time, take your own time to reply to a question or something which needs to be taken forward, whether it is in a board meeting or anywhere else, or even your personal space. Now, in future, please say object rather than that's total bullshit. Now, that's something really a bit of a humor on that. Okay, another thing is before we actually want to, they say, the question is whether you've been convicted or not, followed by explain why. So I say no, because of a good lawyer. I think everybody here resolves the same thing. A very small anecdote to this is there's a small story which I always remember, that there was a person, there were two birds, and they were sitting on a tree, and there was a strong gush of wind that came through. And when in the strong gush of wind, one of the birds flew away, okay? And the second bird kept waiting. It did not fly. The second storm, the third storm, the fourth storm. So and it was a wonder as to why would he be there. So he said, one, I trust my wings. If the storm is very very gusty and I need to fly, I trust my wings that I can fly. Okay? So this is the what would I say? And the second thing would be that wherever that I'm resting, the branches which I am resting, you need to also have some kind of a, they say na, right now when people are going out, and especially in this pandemic, there's so much of fear, there's so much of thought process as to negative thought process, but nothing, somewhere we need to also have faith in the Lord Almighty. So have faith in your wings, have faith in your skills, have faith in the Lord and the thought process. And I'm sure there's some takeaway, at least some, maybe even 0.5% to what we began with, a little bit of a change. If there is anything that I need to share, please let me know. Thank you so much. I think somebody spoke.
Hello, Sangeeta madam.
Yes.
Yes. This is Advocate Uday here.
Yes. Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon. Good afternoon, madam. Actually, we have 5 to 7 minutes more. If you have any more inputs,
Yeah,
you can enlighten
yes,
on that.
yes. Why not? Why not? I don't think I'm prepared, but I'm sure I'll be able to give a certain things which have been there on my mind. First of all, very important thing is body language. This is something which I have been I have been training for. And not just linguistic aspects, probably. Yes, language is important, but it is very, very important as the what you say. Content is important, the way you say it, how you say it, how much you say it, how well you say it, how well you are able to present that particular thing is equally important. I'll give you an example. And when we tell a kid, a child, if there's a chocolate in his hand or probably a toy which you need to take away from him or her, and you say, please give it to me. I mean, I this is not good. Please give it to me. The child could be that small, but the child understands and probably would give that particular thing. Okay, the look, everything. When we are talking about body language, I'm talking everything in totality. And I'm saying, when I'm saying totality, we beginning from right from the way you're going to look at things with your eyes, to the way you're going to gesticulate with your fingers or hands, to the way your neck movement is, the way you stand, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot of things that go into it. Very honestly, there's so many things that go into it that it is a complete module, which needs to be done, and a whole probably till a proficiency has been achieved, a little bit of hand holding is also essential. Today, too, very, very frankly, I would another second thing that I would suggest all the participants, if they wanted to go ahead with this kind of thought process and setup, that they would want to polish their skills, and not just linguistic but also otherwise, is regularly probably read something which is transforming, which is life transforming. How would it go with your linguistic skills? Long way. How would it go with your body language, etc.? I will tell you, because reading, sorry, gives you a perspective, and perspective gives you confidence. And when the confidence comes in, whether it is your body, or whether it your voice, or whether it is your thoughts, everything falls in place. Not just that, I think also your internal system of the way you think also, I feel it takes a long impetus. It takes a very long impetus forward. It takes a mileage forward, because something that you very strongly feel, believe in, and that you have imbibed, you have made your own. When you make something your own, you'll actually create something beautiful from that. This is what I feel. I think, Udayji, I would want to encourage participants, if they want to ask me any questions further.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, madam. I myself have one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about body language. What I feel is body language is something which is inherited from your childhood. So suppose there is some body language that needs to be improved. Can it be trained and changed?
Certainly, I don't think and you may say this, that inherent. Yeah, inherent is something we all get. I'm not talking about the beauty, or I'm not talking about the way the looks are. Uday sir, here we are speaking about what is there in you, how it has to resonate. No matter what color of eyes do I have, no matter whether I am what color of skin do I have. It has nothing to do with that. It's nothing to even do whether I'm tall or whether I am short. Those are those nature qualities which are there, we are born with. That is genetic. But I think confidence is something which can be 100% nurtured.
Okay, okay,
I hope,
thanks.
Uday sir, your question has been cleared.
Yes, 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 very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am. Those were really excellent and knowledgeable words. We came to know about confidence, calmness, how we have to be ourselves. We should have ourselves. We should not have a fake character. We should be a
I have one
multitasking.
question. I have one question from Shrujan. Shrujan, right? I mean, somebody. I think somebody has asked me this question.
Yes,
There is a
yes, yes.
stammering problem. Yes, you can take care of your stammering problem also. There are many therapists, speech therapists, and don't think that you'll have to go for lifelong. You may only take 8 sessions, because I know of a doctor, and absolutely citing this 100% out of experience that he's still there. He's a psychiatrist. He's an MD psychiatry, and had some issues in childhood, and has completely overcome stammering issues with 8 to 9 sittings with a vocal therapist. And yes, certainly one is one therapist, and second thing is, building a that particular, what is stammering actually. There has the two things here. One is there is something wrong actually physically with the tongue or the palate of the mouth. And second thing is there have been some episodes in the childhood which have probably hampered the thought process as the reason why the speech gets hampered. Okay, so where the physical aspect is concerned, it will have to be corrected by a person whom you will go to a surgeon, etc. But when we are talking not about not about a body aspect or physical aspect, and we're talking about mental aspect, two things again will be taken care of. One is going to be your speech therapist, and second is going to be a person who will counsel you to come out of that phase. So that is something which is very, very well. It can absolutely be achieved. I have myself had a group of people who were from a different country, and there was some issues with stammering, and it has been taken care of. If there are any other questions, most welcome.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Absolutely.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself,
Can
Subarna
you be a
Shom.
bit loud, my dear?
Okay,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, darling. Tell me.
Myself, Subarna Shom. I have done my MCom and now I am pursuing B.Ed. I am planning to go in a teaching profession. So, ma'am, my question is about sometimes in a classroom
Louder.
when I will
Louder.
enter when I will enter my classroom. So
Huh.
I will observe some students with different attitudes because they are have different individual personality, right? And when
Hmm.
I will be in a meeting with my principal, with my colleagues, then there will be some different environment. And when I will be in a teacher parents meeting, there will be a different environment. So, ma'am, can you please suggest me what should I pursue my behavior? How can I talk like that, or how should be my body language be there?
Shubna, right? Your name is Shubna, right?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Sangeeta
No,
madam.
ma'am, my name is Subarna.
Excuse me,
Okay,
excuse me.
Shubna. Okay.
Sorry, just one thing, madam. We are short of time, so we can answer this quickly. We can. This
Yeah,
is the last
actually,
question
it
to be
will not be
taken.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it will not be possible. My dear girl, it will not be possible for me to give you this answer in a one-liner because it is not a one-liner answer. This will take, maybe a few sessions, to go about, because yes, you will have to adapt to different thought processes and skills at that point in time. So I think you'll have to contact me, or you'll have to contact Mr. Kumar and then come via en route yourself.
So,
Okay, ma'am.
the participant who is asking the question, I request that you can put your question on a mail. You can put a question on mail to us, so we will answer you as soon as possible.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you so
Uh,
much. That's fine.
yeah, thank you. uh, I would like to give vote of thanks. I thank to our honorable speaker Dr. Sangeeta Shetty for being the part of this webinar and giving us an opportunity to hear your thoughts. I thank Bipin sir and Kumar sir for conducting such knowledgeable webinars. Last but not the least, I would also like to thank our participants. Without their attendance and keen interest, this webinar won't be successful. Thank you, everyone. I would also like to announce about tomorrow event, that is on comprehensive rethinking of China policy. That is tomorrow on 31st July at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for attending this webinar. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.